haven't filmed an episode of Outliving My Diagnosis for a couple weeks because I wanted to give myself a little break, experience things, learn things, and then come back. I've definitely learned things, I've experienced things, and so we're gonna talk about it. Things have been going pretty well recently. I'm very proud of how I take care of myself, and I'm very happy with the life that I've built. I'm gonna give you guys a brief little apartment tour since I've done a lot of remodeling and reorganizing and decorating. We're gonna turn our way out here, and so we have our little reading nook, we have our mirror, vanity area, sitting area, we have our desk in the middle of the apartment now, we have our kitchen, we have this little workout machine. It's like a pull-up machine. All I have to do is jump up and I can just hold my own weight and build my muscle. These are my old brake rotors that John and I had changed, so now I use them as weights. We have all of my vision boards on the side, we have lights that we hung up the other day. Very proud, very happy with that. I feel like I've just distanced myself from the camera. I feel disconnected from making content. I like making lecture videos, like my perspectives and perception, my feelings and emotions, fear of abandonment video, like videos where I can teach people things, but I also do know that I just need to make content, so I was like, let me just make an Outliving My Diagnosis video and go with the flow, because what doesn't flow goes. We might as well go into that. So that is one of the biggest lessons I've just been learning about attachment. I've been learning how to value connection because all my life I've had these attachments and I've stayed attached to people even after we've disconnected, especially with my ex Xavier, with relationships I've put myself into, you know, situationships. I will get so attached to an idea or a version of someone in my head that even though we don't have a connection, or even though they don't value me, or even though they don't consider me, I will still stay so latched onto them because I value the attachment more than I value the connection. And so now I value connection over attachment. I know how to be an individual now. I know how to be on my own. I value myself. I love myself. I consider myself. All the expectations I used to hold other people to, I now hold myself to. And I practice radical accountability a lot more. I have been practicing and understanding. I've been understanding responsibilities and privileges. In order to have my privileges, I have to do my responsibilities. I have to choose temporary discomfort. If you choose comfort in the short term, aka most times that comfort in the short term is just avoidance. When you choose avoidance, then discomfort is a long-term consequence. But when you choose discomfort in the moment, like let's say doing the dishes really quick to have a clean kitchen, the privilege is having a clean kitchen. The responsibility is the dishes. I have to value the action of doing the dishes in order to have the comfort, the privilege of a clean kitchen. Because if I teach myself and I continue teaching my nervous system that there's a sense of comfort in avoiding my responsibilities, then I'll continue to avoid my responsibilities and then I'll be uncomfortable with the lack of privileges that I have. I feel like such a significantly different person compared to season 1, season 2, season even 3 from the first episodes that I filmed. Like, I am constantly changing as a person. I am never staying still. Momentum is something I value a lot, and I try to keep my momentum. Any single time there's a problem that's affecting my life or decreasing the quality of my life, I solve the fucking problem. I'm a problem solver. Another lesson I've been learning is that I can't solve other people's problems. It's not my responsibility to, I already talked about this part where it's not my responsibility to write someone else's story in order to be in it. Sometimes I have to accept that I don't fit into someone's life. They are not making space for me. There is not compatibility. There's not alignment. And when I see that there's not alignment, I have to let go and I have to go with the flow. I keep trying to force myself into people's lives. I keep trying to force things to work when I can tell that they're not, or I have to now accept reality for what it is, because I used to lie to myself and dismiss reality and try to make it what I wanted it to be. But now I just feel like I'm in such more of an accepting, secure place. Like, I truly am secure in myself. I don't feel the need to constantly change everything about me. I don't feel the need to change myself to make other people happy or to be accepted. I feel happy with the values that I have. I feel happy with the way I show up and who I am and how I express myself. A big lesson I've also been learning is about expectation and intention, and I like to do things intentionally, because when you do things with expectations, you're expecting a certain outcome that you might not get, so then you start to build resentment or disappointment or frustration because you're not getting what you want in return. You keep giving your energy, you're like draining yourself. People don't have to live up to our expectations, and that's the thing I think about, where it's like, is it my responsibility to live up to other people's expectations? No. So why would I hold them to expectations that they might not even want to live up to or fulfill? Expectations don't drive behavior. Just because I have an expectation of someone doesn't mean they're going to act that way. They have to want to align with certain values or have certain standards for themselves because of their intentions. They have to intend to have those standards and values. I can't just hold this expectation over their head and think that that's going to lead them to be the person I want them to be. They are allowed to be exactly who they want to be. They are allowed to act below my standards, and it's my responsibility to uphold my standards and remove them from my life or remove me from their life and stay true to what I know I want. I can't keep ignoring what I want to keep giving myself a false sense of comfort and inauthentic connection, whatever it might be. So I try to do things intentionally and not with expectations. I like drinking tea. Grim put me on. Grim keeps telling me I need to drink tea, and he had mentioned it for before bed instead of melatonin, and it's been productive and helpful, and I like it as a little routine. I work in like 30 minutes. I have to leave in 20, so I have to do my hair, I have to put my clothes on, all of that. But I'm excited to start about living my diagnosis again. I have a couple video ideas I would like to just do and make. I have this perfectionist thing in my head where I want it to come out perfect. I want it to come out perfect. I want it to come out perfect, so I just don't film the video. But I need to take imperfect action, and I need to continue practicing that because it's not about being perfect. Things are looking up, and we're doing well. We're learning lessons that are helping us increase our quality of life. We're living differently than we always have, and I am being different than I have always been. So here's to that. It's currently around 7 o'clock in the morning, and all I want is more sleep, but we work at 8:30, so we must be awake. We're gonna be making ourselves some breakfast sometime soon, and I just wanted to make a quick video, talk about a couple things, and then get my day started. I've been struggling a lot with really wanting intimacy, and I think that with my situation with my favorite person, I confused intensity for intimacy. It was chaotic, it was filled with adrenaline, it was secretive, so it felt like I was special and it was something more. And I just don't really know how they actually felt about me because I don't think I can remember many moments where it was actually intimate. We never had much time together. We didn't spend a lot of time alone. We never really got the chance to get to know each other in the way that I would have liked for us to get to know each other. Our connection was built off of a couple stolen moments, not intimate interactions. While sometimes it felt intimate, I think most of it was just intensity. I'm always neglecting myself and abandoning myself in hopes that this person will give me what I want. I'm doing things with expectations. I'm lying to myself. I'm being disingenuous. I need to stop settling for situations where I'm receiving less than what I know I deserve. I'm just desperate. I'm desperate. I was more insecure in the past. I really just want to feel loved by someone and held by someone and considered by someone, but I need to do that for myself first, so that way I'm not putting myself in situations where I abandon myself, devalue myself in order to try to get it and then not even receive it. I've been having some health problems, and my finger more specifically, it swells up in the morning and it feels like my vein is just really tight. I don't know really fully what's happening. I don't have health insurance nor health care, so I'm kind of just hoping it's not something that's chronic or going to affect me in the long term. I'm just going to continue trying to value my health, exercising more, taking care of myself, eating healthy. I don't even desire to eat foods that don't have the nutrients my body needs, so I feel like I'm making progress, so I'm happy about that. It'll be late at night and I'm like, damn, I just want some easy, convenient food. What can I go out and get? And it's like anything that I can have that's convenient and cheap is voided of all the nutrients I want. I don't even desire to have it very often. Not that it's bad, not that there's shame associated with it. If I want Taco Bell, I'm gonna go get Taco Bell. If I want Wendy's, I'll go get Wendy's. I get Chick-fil-A. I do get Chick-fil-A often. But I just want better for myself, and I desire other things. I have different values, and so it's like, damn, let me just make a fucking chicken onion quesadilla with avocado mash and enjoy myself. The sun is starting to come up. It's so beautiful. I'm not off for the next 4 days, so I'm gonna be waking up early and suffering, working, and all of that, which isn't bad actually, because today is my library day. I work at 8:30. I'll probably get off around 3:30, maybe something earlier if it's not busy. I work to go tomorrow, so that means I'll be off by 2:30, and then it's gym Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I study throughout the week, and then on my days off, I just read and do what I feel is best for me, give myself rest. I no longer associate shame with resting. Resting is productive, and honestly, I have this ideology now where I remove myself of all demands and obligations, and that helps me become more autonomous and more full as a person. So I'll tell myself, I don't have to accomplish anything. I don't have to accomplish anything. And that leads me to remember that I have autonomy and I can choose what I want to do. And then I'm like, okay, yeah, I do want to study. I do want to read. I do want to work out, and I can do it at my own pace. I just feel fulfilled when I'm an autonomous person with free will and I can choose what I give my energy. I hate being demanded. I hate being obligated. frustrated. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Not that life isn't going to have obligations or demands sometimes, but if I can try to not demand myself when I could just be devoted to my values instead of being like discipline, discipline, discipline. Oftentimes discipline feels as though it's rooted in shame, and I just don't resonate with it. But I do feel devoted to myself. I feel devoted to my goals. I feel devoted to humanity. I feel devoted to the things that I want to accomplish and learn. But I don't have to learn anything. I don't have to accomplish anything. I don't have to do jack shit. I want to do these things, therefore I put effort and energy into it. I value my responsibilities now. Like, my responsibilities aren't demands. I choose what privileges I want, and I take on the responsibilities that I need to take on in order to have those privileges out of my autonomous will. I've been sober for like a week or two now, and it feels really good. I love substance. I love partaking. The next thing I want to do is another trip. I want to do some mushrooms, but I'm just giving my body some time to go back into homeostasis. I think I'm struggling with fibrosis in my liver, maybe my lungs, I don't know. All of these are just assumptions, so take everything I say with a grain of salt, because I do. So we're gonna stay sober for a little while just to give our body some time to regulate and heal without a constant fluctuation of different chemicals going into my body. I'm gonna make myself some breakfast. I went grocery shopping yesterday and I did all of my meal prepping. I'm so proud of myself. I really showed up for myself. I did the dishes like 3 different times yesterday, but I was live, so it made it a lot easier. I like to body double. I like to parallel play with my lives, and so I always do that. Like, I'm always live. I love being live. I'm live on TikTok, but I did my meal prepping, and actually, let me show you guys. Let's go ahead and get up. This is my freezer. We have all of our diced chicken on the top, and then we have our steak. We have our chicken fillet, so that way we can make grilled chicken sandwiches. And I also have some ground beef here if I were to ever want to make tacos. We have whole grain bread. We have our bagels, onion bagels, because I love onions. In my refrigerator, everything is an absolute mess right now, so we're just gonna ignore that fact. These wings are actually terrible. They are so mid. We have some steak to make some steak and eggs. We need to put away our dishes right now, and we're probably gonna make like 3 or 4 eggs. How much time do I have? Because it's not going to take long for me to get ready, and I want to leave around 8. I have about 40 minutes. I have time. I just need to end this little video recording so that way I can lock in, get my responsibilities done, and then go into work and be a nice employee, make everyone feel annoyed, because I'm going to go in there being like, good morning everyone, how are you doing? Also, when Nat and I were at BJ's yesterday, Nat recommended these chips to me, or these crackers to me. Nat, I love you so much. Thank you so much. These crackers are good as fuck. I'm actually so thrilled. I love those crackers so much. They're so good with salami. I tried them with the onion dip I got. I tried them with the buffalo dip I got. It's just overall a really good snack, and it's good for me. Has the omega fucking vitamins. It's whole grain. Like, it's just... blessed. I'm gonna go ahead and start cooking. We're gonna channel chef struggles, and we're gonna put away our dishes. I might listen to a podcast. I've been listening to The Rest is History. I've been trying to listen to more podcasts than music, because right now my music is understimulating. But I love you, and hopefully I will see you guys later. I'm at the library right now trying to get some work done, study, edit my video, the works, but I just keep getting distracted and I keep thinking about my favorite person. We got reconnected a couple months ago. Like, I think we had stopped talking originally. The whole entire thing fell apart in December. I think we reconnected at the beginning of February and then disconnected again, obviously. But I feel like I'm regressing because it's just popping up a lot more now. I've been thinking about him, giving him way too much time and energy in my brain. I'm getting distracted. I can't get my work done because all I want to do is ruminate in my head, live in my imaginative world where he's still in my life. Sometimes I really don't want to accept the circumstances and how everything went down and what everything was. It just makes me look like I was a horny slut, which I am, and I just wanted attention, but really I really liked him. Anyways, I'm trying to get all of my work done and he just keeps popping up, and it's really annoying because it's been a long time now. Like, it's been a hot while. I don't like how it's still consuming me so much, and I don't want to give all my time and energy to it, and I'm not abandoning myself in the way that I used to. Like, again, I have been working through the attachment, even though it's still lingering. I still have a lesson to learn, therefore it's still popping up. I think that if I keep ruminating on it, live in my imaginative fantasy, I don't actually have to let him go, because I still have him in here. If I let him go, then he's really gone, but right now he still lives in my head, and so I still have like a part of him, but really it's just the version of him I've constructed for my own comfort. The last time we had talked, when he had ended it, I was just getting really insecure, and I feel bad, but
I essentially sent him a whole bunch of messages. I was fearing abandonment. I didn't know if he actually wanted to talk to me or be with me. I didn't know if he was actually going to make a change. I didn't know what was really going on, even though all it was him not responding to one of my messages right away. I got really insecure very quickly because I didn't want to lose him, and I perceived it as abandonment. And he essentially was like, okay, I can tell that like I don't have the time to give you right now. Like his car had just broken down. He was going through a whole bunch of stress for 24 hours, so I can understand why he didn't respond to my message. But essentially it ended after that because of my own insecurity. Now, it was never a situation like we shouldn't have reconnected and all of that stuff. I mean, I can't act like I'm more guilty. I wanted to talk to him, and I was wrong for wanting to talk to him. I'm wrong for still liking him. I'm wrong for still thinking about him. But I put myself in this situation, so I have to learn my way out of it. So it ended kind of abruptly because I had just sent a whole bunch of messages assuming the worst, and he was going through a lot in his life already. One thing I want to continue learning and just putting into practice is that when someone goes silent, or if there's a brief pause, whenever someone doesn't immediately respond and I'm like really anxiously awaiting their response, my discomfort, my anxiety is not an invitation to accommodate those feelings. I don't need to just get rid of or self-sabotage whatever it is making me feel uncomfortable. I need to learn how to tolerate it and sit in it, and that's not something I've ever been very good at in different contexts. A part of me really wishes that I wasn't learning all of these lessons within these circumstances, because then there's a whole moral challenge of it all. So like if someone watches this video, they're like, you don't deserve to feel any way that you feel because you did something bad, and it's like, please understand the complexities and nuances of life. Like, oh my god, even though it's not your responsibility, this is my responsibility. I made my choices, and me struggling is only a reflection of those choices. But I like to struggle, I like to learn, and I had a whole lot to learn, and I learned a lot. Like, it wasn't like I just did all of this and then just decided to comfort my feelings and just never think about it ever again. Like, no, I have to adequately learn from the situation so I don't repeat it, and learn why I did it, how I feel, what led me, what gave me incentive, what was I believing, what was I feeling, like all of that. I just need to learn how to be uncomfortable sometimes. I need to learn not to give myself what I want sometimes. I need to learn how to sit in silence. I need to learn to not assume the worst. And some of these things I've already done and I've already gotten better at, but just practicing it more. I just feel very consumed by it right now. I want to edit my video. I want to think about something other than him, but it feels like the second I let him go in my brain, I really have to move on. I told him I was going to move on, so I don't think he's ever going to contact me, even if things were to change in his life. Moving on is just so difficult because I have such a strong sense of hope that maybe one day all the ideas we had talked about or the stories I created in my head could be brought into fruition. All I wanted was one night. I just wanted one night where maybe we could take a shower together, look up at the stars, cuddle, be intimate and close. I just want someone to hold me. Like, all my life that's just been a pattern where I will abandon myself, neglect myself, disrespect myself, and now at this point other people as well, just in hopes of being held by someone and cared for by someone. And I thought maybe, just maybe it could be him, and maybe he would hold me, and maybe he would make me feel better. I really just want comfort. I think it leads all down to that. Everything I do, I always do in the hopes of being held. It's not the same as hugging your friends or hugging my dad, hugging my loved ones, being comforted by them. Being in my bed and just being held by someone sounds majestic. I've never experienced true intimacy, and I have hurt myself and others at this point in hopes of getting it. When I think about him and I live in my imagination, I get that sense of comfort and intimacy, even if it's just a product of my own mind. I'm desperate. Like, I am desperate. That's not something to be proud of, but I have to be truthful with myself. I am desperate. I've acted out of desperation, and that's just a part of my character right now that I have to continue processing, because it's not that I have this scarcity mindset where I think I'll never be intimate with someone, or I'll never gain comfort, I'll never find someone who I can trust and be with and be secure with. It's not that. I just want it now. I want my instant gratification. I feel like I've just waited so long, and it's just such a rare occurrence for me, and I'm desperate. My intentions were rooted in empathy, but my actions were rooted in ignorance. I didn't want to be a homewrecker. I just wanted to help him, and I didn't want to be alone, and both of those things were just not enough to justify me talking to him. I really do hope his life gets better. I hope he's able to face the things he needs to face and change the things he needs to change, but I was never going to be able to be the one to do that for him or help him until he's ready. I'm doing a much better job at not abandoning myself and neglecting myself. I'm doing all the things I need to do for my goals. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly challenging myself. I'm taking action. I hang out with people. I do this, I do that. I'm not just doing nothing. I'm not just laying in bed all day, every day, just thinking about it and ruminating. I've done so much better than I have in the past. But right now, I'm just struggling a little bit extra. I'm gonna go back inside and try to get my shit done. It's so awkward to talk about this shit because you have every right to judge me. Like, every single right. I'm guilty. Like, it's okay, judge, make that decision, you know? I just really wish things would have been different, but they're not. It is what it is, and it was what it was, and now I shall continue moving forward. So I will see you later.
Good morning. Yesterday night was a really good night, and I feel like I was able to come back to myself. I had a really good live. We had a lot of really good conversations, and I felt very connected to myself. First, I called a physical therapist office this morning, and their rates go for about $125. So I do think I'm going to go get a physical therapy evaluation and then maybe continue physical therapy depending on what I'm told and how easy or difficult it might be to fix certain problems. I have this common issue where my shoulder just like goes out of place or it gets sprained. I don't know what it is, but I guess I use improper form and it starts to hurt, and I'm on Expo today. I'm on to go, so I'm gonna be like using my arms all day today, and I need to fix whatever the fuck this problem is. We are going to be making some eggs and toast. Very simple breakfast this morning, just so we have something in our system before we go to work. A big lesson that's been on my mind recently is my obsessive want and need to be heard and understood. There are so many situations I can refer back to in my life where all I wanted was to be understood, or all I wanted was to simply be heard, but I had to learn the lesson that sometimes people can't understand you. I used to have this like internalized belief that I wasn't understandable because the people around me didn't have the capacity to understand me. I internalized it as if I inherently didn't make sense. But now I have this better understanding that people only have the capacity to meet you in the way they've met themselves. And so when I talk about truth without shame, like that is a huge disconnect in a lot of my relationships, because a lot of people can't admit when they're wrong or get past different understandings because certain understandings are met with a lot of shame. Like with religion, whenever I was breaking down religion a lot, I was talking about the Bible. There's a lot of shame in that. There's a lot of shame in being wrong, and there's a lot of shame in even thinking differently. So I wasn't able to connect with people, and I had to leave a lot of people behind because I needed to move forward with my understandings. I wanted to keep learning and experiencing, and even in one of my episodes I say I didn't want to keep myself behind for people who couldn't move forward.
Let me say that again. I'm not holding myself back for people who can't move forward.
And people have to move at their own pace, and I respect that and I love that for them, but I need to move at my pace, and my pace is just a little bit faster sometimes. I've always been in environments where people couldn't understand me. They couldn't comprehend me. Not that the things I was saying didn't inherently make sense, but they couldn't comprehend where I was coming from, what the information meant, and they also didn't have the strength to process what it meant for them and like how it would change their life. So like, of course they weren't gonna absorb what I was giving them. They didn't want what I had to give because it just meant they had to give up everything else in their life. But to this day, I sometimes still have this deep desire to just be understood. I want people to hear me out. What I'm saying is rational, reasonable, and it makes sense. What I'm saying is repeatable, observable, and it's objective. Like, I'm talking about facts, I'm talking about logic. But some people can't comprehend what I'm saying because they have to meet a certain part of themselves first before they're able to meet me there. I've always had so much resentment for people, and it still pops up now, but it used to be more prominent in the past, where I was so mad that I was always having to meet people where they were, but nobody ever had the ability to meet me. Like, I'm swimming in like the 13-foot part of the pool and everybody's on the shallow end, and I'm always having to swim over to them. If I want to connect with them, I have to swim over to them. Like, they never swim over to me. They can't, because if they even try to swim to where I am, they drown. I have a lot of strength intellectually. I'm very intelligent, I'm very smart, and that's something I'm becoming more secure in, because that doesn't mean I'm always right. Especially with that being said, like, when you have more understanding, the more you learn, you're constantly having to admit that the understandings you previously had were outdated and underinformed. So then once you get more information, you're more informed, you have more understanding, and then that's this continuous cycle of life. I crave being known as Stephanie and everything that Stephanie is. And obviously nobody could ever fully understand me the way I understand myself, because nobody's gone through all my experiences, has all of my biases, interpretations, perceptions. Like, nobody knows what's really going on inside my head. So like, that's okay. Like, I can accept that. Like, I can accept that, like, I will only ever know myself as deep as I know myself. But I also want some people to know me at least like a little deep, but it feels like most people, they don't want to get that deep within themselves, so I can't connect with them. I want to meet someone who's already broken down all of their shame and insecurities, and they've met that part of themselves, and they can challenge that part of themselves without validating those feelings and thoughts. I want to meet someone who understands their feelings and emotions. They don't dismiss them, but they also don't get absorbed in them. They're not attached to how they feel. They learn from it. I want to meet someone who likes to have intellectual conversation. They value information. They value facts. They value facts over their feelings, because feelings aren't facts, and feelings are important and they're valuable. Someone who understands the levels of values and how some things, they have value, but some things have more value than others, like copper and gold. They both have value. They both have purpose, but gold is typically more valuable because it is more malleable. You're able to use it for more things than just copper. We're gonna move over to my desk so that way we can eat. I have like 10 minutes until we have to head out, or at least get ready and then run out the door. Recognizing my desire to be heard and understood is leading me to just understand within all the complexities of it that I have to let go of it. Like I have to detach from it, not because I'm never gonna have it, not because it's wrong, not because it's bad, but simply because it's not accessible to me in the moment in the form that I want it. I'm not going to be understood by a lot of people. I'm not going to be heard by some people because they can't listen to what I have to say without it challenging everything they think they understand. I expressed it a bit previously, and I've expressed it in the past too, where sometimes I really do have resentment that people aren't me. They don't make the same decisions as me. They won't handle things the same way I do. Like, I've made a lot of hard decisions in my life. I've done a lot of big things in my life, and that's how I've gotten where I am, and that's how I have the life that I have, and this is the life I'm fulfilled by. This is my life. This is what fulfills me. It might not fulfill someone else. I am just going to continue breaking down my want and my need, my desire to be heard and understood, because that's not what I'm always going to get and receive, and I can give it to myself. I can give myself understanding. I can hear myself. I can validate myself. I can reassure myself. I am secure in myself, and I need to continue building off of that security, but this is my current state of consciousness and my experience, so I'm sharing it. I just got home from work and I am exhausted. I didn't end up going to the gym or the library today. I think I'm gonna do some cardio and walk outside, put on a cute outfit. I haven't done that in so long since I've been so busy, and I'm thankful. I'm so proud of myself because I know I want more opportunities. I want to learn more. I want to experience more, so therefore I'm doing more, but my lifestyle has always been doing so little. So now I'm taking on so many different responsibilities, and it's okay if I just take a day sometimes to just go on a walk, enjoy myself, listen to music, and probably do something else. It's not that I won't be productive at all, but I don't feel like doing a million things right now. One thing I wanted to talk about in this clip real quick is to have audacity. Like, I want you guys to have fucking audacity, not in an entitlement way. The intentions of which you have audacity are incredibly important, so that's important to understand before having audacity. But I always ask for what I want. I have the audacity to ask for things that I want, even if I'm not entitled to it or anything. I asked my boss at work, just thinking, oh, he can say no and it doesn't even matter, right? Hey boss, can I get free avocado toast? And he said, yeah, you're doing to go 2 days in a row. You can have whatever you want for free. So now I have avocado toast, and it's for free because I simply asked for it. You ask and you shall receive. And I didn't ask with the expectation of getting it. I asked with the intention of receiving it, but I was okay if I didn't because it was simply a question, not a demand. Another thing I wanted to quickly mention before I do another clip is that I think I'm distancing myself from a lot of my neighbors. Right now, I'm really just focusing on myself and what's in my control, and I no longer feel the need or desire to give people my energy unless I absolutely want to. People are not entitled to me or my energy, and when people feel entitled to that, it makes me not want to give it. Like, if my friend really needs me, like if Natalia were to call me at 2 a.m. needing me, then I would give her my energy because I want to, because I value her, and I would be there. But if someone feels as though I have to show up and like we're not even that close and they just want something convenient from me and it's not a need or an emergency, then sometimes I'm less willing to give it. There's so much nuance that goes into it because I just recently went through a breakup with Emma. I don't know how long term it will be, but as of right now it seems to be kind of like, but one thing she had said is that like, I don't like community. I don't want to take on the responsibility and be inconvenienced for a community, and that really frustrated me because all I was doing was expressing to her that I don't appreciate when I'm obligated and expected by people, but I'm always willing to show up for those that I love in the ways that I want to and can. That week when we had gone through our breakup and she said that I didn't want to be inconvenienced in the sake of community, I had literally taken my friend to the airport at 2 a.m. I had picked up my sister from the airport at another time. I had helped my friend move even when I had a lung infection. Like, I'm willing to be inconvenienced and show up for people because to me, inconvenience is a natural part of life, and not everything is always going to be in my favor. Not everything is always going to be in my convenience. So I don't mind being inconvenienced by others, but when I value someone and I love someone, I autonomously want to show up for them. But if someone were to be like, if my friend Nat were to have been like, Stephanie, you need to come help me move. You need to come help me move. I don't have to do shit. But if you're like, oh, Stephanie, like I'm moving, you don't have to, but like, would you be able to help me move? Yes, of course. I'm there already. Like I'm literally at your doorstep. Like I don't mind. So that's a whole other thing that we can talk about another time with like what happened with Emma, but I'm just still processing it, just letting myself learn from the situation, learn what I could do better, and just accept things for what they are, because I tried to save it to the best of my ability and tried to accept things for what it was, but it kept being pushed and then it kind of fell apart. I've just really learned how to accept when I can't give someone what they want. I accept when people can't give me what I want. I'm better about acknowledging when there's incompatibility and when space is needed and everything. So like I really did do my best. I just really value my energy now, and I know the value that I have to give, and so I'm not as willing to give people my energy in ways that I'm not wanting, because I'm not going to abandon myself and call it love. I'm not going to abandon myself and call it consideration. It's all rooted out of expectation. Like, oh, I'm showing up for you with the expectation you show up for me, and if you don't show up for me in the same way, I'm gonna feel resentful for you not doing that, because I wasn't doing it out of the kindness of my heart. I was doing it with the hopes that you were going to give me the exact same value in return, when sometimes value is returned to us in different forms and in different ways, and you have to communicate if you want a specific value returned in a specific way. And if someone can't give you that, it's their responsibility to communicate that they can't give you that value in that specific form. And like, again, this is a whole other video and a whole other discussion, but I'm learning so much recently. I'm just really secure in myself now, and I'm very secure in the value that I can provide, and I'm not for everyone. I'm not like, I don't need to be liked by everyone. I don't need to be accepted by everyone. I am more blunt. I don't like to sugarcoat things. I don't like to comfort feelings as much. And if you need that value, then you need to go find someone who can give you that value. I can comfort people through feelings, but there are certain feelings and lies and stuff that I'm not going to accommodate nor comfort. And I don't know, like I'm kind of just rambling at this point. I just got 4 fillings done at the dentist, so if I sound weird, it's because I'm completely numb in my mouth, or the numbing's going away. I can talk at least, but it's gonna sound weird. It's been really chaotic, really crazy the last few days. Yesterday was Easter Sunday and Jessica's birthday. I made $300 at work, got to see Jessica, had to see mom. That was okay though, and it went well. I just really haven't had time to film the last clip for this week's episode, so here we are. I feel like I'm finally coming to a place of acceptance with the whole coworker situation. I blocked him the last time we talked. He hasn't been blocked for weeks, but he probably still thinks he is. I've had this fantasy that I've been holding on to for the last few weeks, almost months, that he's gonna show up to my door and tell me how much he's wanted me and how much he thought about me, and he's made this change in his life to make it happen. He's made room for me in his life, and I can finally incorporate him into mine. But I don't think that's gonna happen, and I find comfort in that thought, so I keep ruminating on it. But at the end of the day, it's nothing but a delusional reality in my imagination I've created for that illusionary sense of comfort. I've been moving forward, but I haven't moved past him, if that makes sense. Like, he has still lingered in my mind. He's been haunting the narrative. I've just been coming back to myself. The other day I cried to my friend Jazz because I just have been feeling so lonely. Like, I'm so desperate for intimacy. I'm desperate to share my life with someone. Like, I feel like I'm so rich, I'm so abundant, I'm so happy, I'm so joyful, I'm very content with myself and everything I have in my life, and I want to share that with someone. Like, I want someone to be a part of my life. I don't want to just do it alone. I needed to be alone for a period of time to build everything that I've built and to build my sense of self, and now I want to build something with someone else. I want to share. I was just crying to her because I thought that he would be someone I could give it to, and that I wanted him to feel the way I feel and have what I have. And it's like, I can accept the things that I've done, and I can hold myself accountable. I have to face it. I mean, hello, people can watch these videos and then come up to me being like, you're a loser piece of shit for doing what you did, and I can be like, yeah, you're not wrong, but I'm moving past it. I'm going to spend the rest of my day relaxing, resting, letting myself read, go live, make some food, paint. I'm gonna paint some new bookmarks. We might clean the house a little bit here and there, but we're just gonna go with the flow, see what we want to do as the time goes on. One thing I really do want to mention is the Discord server. If you like these kind of videos, if you enjoy being a part of our community, the Discord server is for you. You can just share yourself with a community that will accept you and hold you accountable and also love you for who you are. The link to join the community Discord server is down below in the description. You can also join through my Instagram, Steph Struggles, and it's called Healing Haven if you want to join directly through Discord, so that's an option. I appreciate you so much if you watched to the end of this video, if you watched this series in general, whether you've watched season 1, 2, 3, you've only watched season 3, you've only watched season 2, and now you're finally starting season 3, whatever it might be. It means a lot to me that you watch the videos and you're interested in what I have to say and my life in general, so I appreciate you and thank you for being here. If you learned absolutely nothing from this episode, I do humbly apologize, but please just make sure you leave this video knowing that you are sexy, you are valid, and you are so loved, and I hope to see you in the next episode.
Hope you liked my videos. Is there anything else I'm supposed to say as a YouTuber?